Getting ready to make my second cup of coffee. I just got back from dropping my son off at school, so I figured it would be the perfect time to sort of intro the video, let you know what this is, which if you are new here, my name is Fallon. I am 34 years old and I make bookish content. Wow, I don't need those. I make bookish content here on YouTube. Today's video is already a little all over the place, but it's going to be a reading vlog. And like you saw in the beginning, I'm going to be reading The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic by Brienne Randall. I did pick the book up a little bit earlier, but then my son needed me, so I didn't actually get any reading done, which is fine. I have a whole week. For today though, I have a few errands to run today. I'm going to be going to a few stores and whatnot, so I'm going to take you guys along with me. But for right now, I need to make a cup of coffee. So let's do that. Why is coffee so life-giving? It really is. Okay, so this is the book that I'm going to be reading. It is The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic. I talked about this book in my fall TBR, which if this video's up, that video is up. I do have to finish editing that video. So that is something that is on the to-do list for today. Maybe not finished, but get a good portion of it started. Over the summer, I picked up a hobby. That hobby is crocheting. Yesterday, I made these, which are 2 hats. Isn't this so cute? I will say, this doesn't fit the way that I thought it was gonna fit. And I think that's my fault though. Like, I followed the directions to a T except for hook size. I went up a hook size, like half. And I don't think I should have, so. But I also made this one. This one, you can barely see it because of how red it is. It's gonna be for my older niece. I've already made a blanket, which I'll insert a picture of right there. It's on the couch now, which, no, you can't see it from here. And then I made a scarf for each of my little nieces. I'll put a picture right here as well. So, oh, and I'm working on this, which is, I'm not following a pattern. I just kind of made up my own rules. It's a little wonky, but it's gonna be a scarf for me. And this is the, whoopsies, is that upside down? There we go. This is the yarn. It's really pretty. It's got really pretty colors. So I'm telling you all this because on today's agenda, today's errand that I have to run, I've decided that for Christmas, I'm going to knit my grandmother-in-law a blanket, not knit, crochet. I keep doing that. I'm gonna crochet my grandmother-in-law a blanket, and I want it to be really big, bigger than the one that I just finished, because the one that I just finished, it's 2 skeins, but it's just like a leggy blanket. Like, you can cover your legs with it and a little bit of your arms, but it's not very big. I want to crochet her a really, really big blanket. She used to knit years ago, and so I think that it's something that she'll really appreciate. This past summer, she went through chemotherapy and radiation because she had a lump in her esophagus that was cancerous. So I don't know, it's just something that I want to do. So for today, we're gonna go to Joann's and Michael's. Really, I could probably find what I'm looking for at Michael's, but I really want to go to Joann's to find the yarn that I am looking for. I know the weight and I know the hook size, which I already have the hook. I just, color-wise, I gotta look at a few different yarns, and texture-wise, I have to look at a few different yarns. And I'll probably pick up some like other yarn because now that I know I can make hats, I want to make a few more hats and just like a few more other things. I like crocheting. It's a lot of fun. So while this is a reading vlog for this book, if I can pick it up, for this one right here, I have been listening to the audiobook for Hellbent by Lee Bardugo, which is the second book in the Alex Stern series. The first book is Ninth House, which Ninth House was on my fall TBR. I finished it really quickly, really early on, and then Hellbent was not on my TBR, but I just had to keep going, so I just got the audiobook. I haven't actually physically read it, I've just been listening to it, but I don't have that much left. I have an hour and 4 minutes left on the audiobook. So while I'm shopping, I am absolutely going to be listening to that. And I'm probably going to crochet a little bit today, and I will also be listening to that. I have also been watching 2 shows, Outlander during the day and then New Girl at night. Mostly watching New Girl at night because my partner, he's just not into Outlander, so, but he thinks New Girl is funny, so that's what I've been doing then. But yeah, I don't have a lot to do today. I do have to pick my son up at around 3 o'clock. And then my niece comes here, my older niece, she's a senior in high school. She comes here after school. She walks, the high school's literally like right there. It's like I could throw a stone and hit it. So, but other than that, all I have to do is go to Joann's, read, edit, crochet. Nice simple day. That's an airplane. I live near a airport, so, and we're good. As far as what I'm gonna do right now, it is 9:13. I'm kind of wondering, I think I'm gonna get dressed and go do my errands because I like to get that over with. Yeah, I think that's the smart idea. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get dressed. We'll go to Joann's, we'll go to Michael's, come back. I'll have something to eat, and then I'll start to properly read this bad boy, which I really hope is as good as I think it's gonna be. I said this in my fall TBR that this book, it's been marketed as like a Practical Magic meets Gilmore Girls, so I pre-ordered it. Even, well, it literally says, for fans, well, you can't see that, you're not gonna be able to read it, it's backwards. For fans of Practical Magic and Gilmore Girls, The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic is a charming debut novel that explores the shields we build around our hearts to retain our own magic. Sounds good to me. But I pre-ordered it, and then it came, and then I put it on my shelf. Yeah, that's what I did. Like a whole year ago, I think. So we're gonna dive into this bad boy today when we get back from shopping. And yeah, so that's what we're gonna do now. I'm gonna drink a little bit more coffee, I'm gonna get dressed, and then we're gonna go. What I'm looking for. Like, they have the yarn that I need, but the color options just aren't really doing it for me. I was really hoping for like a blue and a yellow because those are colors that I know that my grandmother-in-law loves. And they just don't have, I know that none of the colors are like calling to me. This is pretty. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to go over to Michael's, unfortunately. It's also like a maze here. It's a little bit chaotic. Oh God, that's gorgeous. Oh, so gorgeous. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to go over to Michael's. Well, I did not find what I was looking for. They did have like, they had a few that I was like, maybe this could work. So I just wasn't 100% sure of it. So I just kind of, while I was standing there, I looked it up online and then I saved it so that if I don't find what I'm looking for at Michael's, also I'm filming this on my phone, so I'm sorry if the quality sucks, but if I don't find what I'm looking for at Michael's, then I'll just order it online at Joann's or something. I don't even know. It would be nice if I knew where my key was. Anyway, found the key. I did end up getting some yarn. I did. Let me fix my necklace. I don't know how that happened. So look at this. Look at this. Look how beautiful this is. I think I'm gonna try a blanket with this or something. I don't even know, but it's huge. It's absolutely huge. I could do a scarf with it too. I actually have the perfect scarf pattern for this. And then I got a Crochet for Beginners book, and I got a couple hooks too that have, I got 2 actually, and then I got needles for threading through. But I got 2 hooks that have like a slightly thicker band because the ones I've been using are really thin and it kind of hurts a little bit. So anyway, I'm getting tired. I also got myself some Swedish fish because I feel my blood sugar like plummeting and the coffee is not enough. Anyway, we're gonna head over to Michael's now. That's a person. We're gonna head over to Michael's now and see what they have. And again, if I don't find anything there either, or maybe I find 1 or 2 things that I like, I'll just look it up online and then eventually purchase it through there. But there were 2 types of yarn, there were 2 colors at Joann's that I kind of liked. That one was a pink, one was a blue. We'll see. We will see. So something to be said about Michael's is that it's so much more organized in here. Like, it took me forever in Joann's to find where the yarn was, and it was a disaster. So that being said, they don't have as many options. At least it doesn't feel like it. We'll see. Okay, I really like this one, like, a lot. I kind of think this is the one that I'm gonna go with. It's really pretty. I actually think that one might work. I really like it. I really, really like this one, but it's too thick. But I don't know, this one it's really nice. Okay, so after thinking about it a little bit more and talking to my partner, whose grandmother it is, I asked him which one, you know, the other one or this one, and he chose this one, and it's definitely like a more year-round kind of color, whereas I think that this one is more fall-like. So I'm gonna go with this one, and I think I'm gonna need like 7, but I'm gonna start with like 4 for today. Okay, officially done shopping. I can't believe it's already 11 o'clock and I left at like 9:30. That's insane. I didn't realize that it took me that long. Anyway, this is the one that I ended up on, and I got 4 of them for right now. The pattern says because this is 220 yards, I believe. Oh, yeah, 220 yards. So the pattern I'm following says for like the blanket size that it is would be like 7 of them, but I'm gonna start with this first and then we'll see from there. So I don't know if I'm gonna start this project today or not. I want to sit down and read. Like, I'm also starving, so I'm gonna go home. I got banana bread, so I'm gonna heat up some banana bread, relax, sit down and start reading, and then I have to also edit my fall TBR video. So I don't think I'm gonna start that today. I think maybe tomorrow or the day after, but I do have to start it soon because it has to be done by Christmas. And I'm not a slow crocheter, even though I'm a beginner. I'm pretty decent, but I want to give myself time in case I make mistakes or whatever. So I also crocheted so much yesterday that my hands are a little sore, so I do think the day after will be better. Total side note to all of that, I am listening to Hellbent, and I'm like at the ending, and this book is so crazy. I want to live in the world of 9th House and Hellbent. I love these books so freaking much, so much. And these are kind of rounding out my dark academia reads. I do have to read Babel. That's the next one, but I love them so much. There's a person looking at me because I'm talking. I don't care. I need to get over it. Anyway, let's go. I'm getting a little hot. It's not hot out, but I'm moving around. I got a sweater on. Oh, this acne is killing me. Anyway, goodbye. I'm not exactly sure where I'm supposed to put all this yarn. I've been keeping a lot of my yarn under there, but that's not gonna work for this, so I gotta figure that out. I really do. That being said, I just finished Hellbent just now. I cannot wait for the third book. I cannot freaking wait. Now I'm gonna have to Google when the third book is coming out. If it's coming out anytime soon, I really hope that it is. I absolutely loved 9000 Hellbent. Hard recommend. But now, I'm gonna figure out where to put those. I just heated up some banana bread. I've got my book already on the couch, and I'm feeling a little like I need to sit down, I need to start reading, and so that's what we're gonna do. What are you doing? Happy as a clam. It's a bully stick, and I swear they smell so bad. You love that, huh? I know. I am about a chapter and a half in. Oh, sorry about that. And so far I'm actually really liking it. I like the character. She's got a best friend named Raquel who seems like she's gonna be a really fun character, and like I'm really enjoying that. I'm enjoying the subtle hints of magic that we're seeing so far. It's not really like overt, so it doesn't feel like a full-on fantasy. It feels like practical magic, if I'm being really honest. And the small town aspect of it does feel a little Gilmore Girls, so I'm enjoying it. I still have all the windows open, and to be honest, it is quite chilly in here, and I'm like, it's fall. It's fall. I love it. I mean, the first day of fall was yesterday, but like, let's be real, here in New Jersey, central New Jersey, lately it does not seem to get actually cold until middle of October, late October, if I'm being honest. I even remember one year, my birthday's November 2nd, it was like decently warm on my birthday, so that's fun. But yeah, I've just been reading. I did fall asleep on the couch while reading a little earlier, which is insane because I've had 2 cups of coffee, 1 cup at home, and then I had a latte from Dunkin', and then when I came home again after going to Joann's and Michael's, I had another cup of coffee. So it's ridiculous that I could even still fall asleep. So it's only 2 o'clock. I don't have to leave for an hour still to go get my son from school. I think that after I pick him up, I'm gonna be kind of trying to get some editing done on my TBR video, and then I gotta cook dinner. And then at night we normally play like a round or 2 of Mario Kart. So, but we'll see. I'm gonna just sit here and read for the next hour and see how far I get. I really like the world so far. Like the vibe of it is definitely fall, like completely. So I'm into it. Hello, I had to change because as I was taking my dog out, it started raining, and then my sweatshirt was damp, and I didn't like the way that felt, but that's okay. It's like off and on sprinkling. I knew we were supposed to get rain, but it just kind of came out of nowhere. Anyway, it is, let's see, 4:12. My son is in his room. He got a new, his Halloween costume came in. And so he put that on, and he's talking to a friend and showing them the costume and all of that. I am getting ready to do some more editing because I was on a roll before I left to go pick him up. But I did read a little bit more of this as I was sitting in the pickup line. So I figured I would talk a little bit about it. So there's an aspect of this, obviously heartbreak is a big thing, and the idea is that Sadie is a witch that is cursed. Her and a lot of the witches in her family are cursed, and she's actually about to find out what her curse, it's a flashback, and she's about to find out exactly what her curse is. But from what I can gather, heartbreak, or her first heartbreak kind of like triggers the curse or something. And a guy named Jake is the one that broke her heart, and he's back in town after 10 years. And there's like all these bad omens that happened. It was like 7 in a row that led to her figuring out that he's back in town. And so far it's like the book is good. Something that's really cute is there are there's recipes for different like desserts that are talked about in that chapter at the end of every chapter, which I think is really, really cool and really cute. The only thing I would say is that I'm not exactly connecting with the character yet. I'm not really connecting with this heartbreak that she's talking about, which is a little frustrating because it's a big part of the book. Like it's the center of all of it, like this heartbreak that she goes through. So that is a little, you know, whatever. But obviously I still have a lot more to read. I will say I like the atmosphere. I like the world that it's in. It's a town called Poppy Meadows, and it's, I guess, in Southern California. Really small town vibes, obviously. I like the side characters so far. Her grandmother, her best friend. We don't know much about her brother because she's a twin brother who left over a year ago. I don't know anything more about that. Again, I guess we're gonna learn more as time goes on, but I do get like evil twin vibes. I don't know if that's true, but I guess we'll see. But yeah, the side characters are okay so far. You know, there's like a town mayor who knows everybody, so that's really cool. Very Gilmore Girls, you know, very Taylor vibe. That being said, I'm just not connecting with the character just yet, and the magic is not, it's not like tangible, if that makes sense. Like there's a lot of little things that she like hints at magic wise that I'm just like, is that, does she mean for this to be magic? And I can't 100% tell if it's real or not. Like the people in the town seem to believe in the fact that this family is magical, and her best friend does, but I don't know. It's like, it's too wishy-washy. I'm hoping that as the book goes on, it becomes, I don't know, a little more tangible, and I hope that I can connect with the character a little bit more, but it's very early on, so who knows. Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna edit a little bit, and then I'm gonna make dinner and I'm gonna read. And it's chilly in here. It's very cold, but I'm not closing the windows. It's nice. I really hope it does like actually rain. I could use a big rainstorm. That would be nice. So anyway, that's all. It is a heavy book from what I hear. A lot of reviews have talked to me. Good morning. I just finished making myself some breakfast, which is just a plain bagel with cottage cheese and some everything bagel seasoning. But I figured that I would sit down and talk to you guys about the book. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish this book. I have a lot of complaints. I have a lot of thoughts. There's gonna be a lot of clips like this that I have to edit out. I need my water. Hold on. Water secured. So I said yesterday that I was having a little bit of difficulty connecting to the main character, Sadie. I sort of realized one of the reasons today while I was reading. I have no idea what Sadie looks like. I have no idea. None. There are actually no real physical descriptions of anybody in this book so far. Now, mind you, I think like halfway through chapter 4. I'm 60 pages in. So I'm still technically at the beginning of the book, but like, I don't know about you, but when I read, I picture it as a movie in my head. I like need to be able to see the characters, and I can't do that with this book. There's no physical descriptions. The only thing I know so far is that she has wavy hair, and I just learned that a few minutes ago. So that's an issue. The writing is trying too hard to be flowery. I mean, there are so many similes that just sort of don't make sense. Finally trudging out of bed at dawn with the phantom smell of ash trailing her like a bad decision. That's just one of many. One of many. She uses like adverbs and verbs in places it's not necessary. I don't know. It's very try hard. It's trying very, very hard to be flowery and poetic. And I love flowery, poetic writing. Like, don't get me wrong. I eat that stuff up. I mean, A Song of Achilles is my favorite book, like, of the last few years. So, but this is not that. It's really not. I actually have, in the notes app, I have a note going on my phone of all of my complaints. So at one point I asked, how old is Sadie? Because I hadn't known, but I just found out she's 28 years old. So she got her first heartbreak 10 years ago when she was 18. So the grandmother uses the word pissant so much, and it seems like it's meant to be in this like affectionate way, but it doesn't come off like that. It is really icky. I don't like it. I have the strong feeling that the author herself does not curse a lot in her real life, because she, at one point, the grandmother calls the guy that broke Sadie's heart, she calls him a shit ass. She actually then does it again when he comes into the cafe. She again calls him a shit ass. It's also just, it's really freaking boring. Nothing has happened. I've learned nothing. It's really boring. There's no connection to the emotions of the characters. Like, they're trying to sell you on this really bad heartbreak that she has, that she got from this guy, Jake, who's now back in town after 10 years. But I'm just not feeling any real connection to this heartbreak at all. I don't know. I'm trying, like I said, I'm halfway through chapter 4. I'm trying to push on. I don't want to have to DNF it, mainly because I am making a video. If I weren't making a video, I'd tell you right now, I would be DNFing it. DNFing? You know what I mean. I would be not continuing this book. But it's been sitting on my shelf for so long. It's on my TBR. I'm making a video. I'm like, you gotta try. You gotta try. So I'm gonna try to get to at least the halfway point, and then we'll see. Something that I'm a little worried might end up being an issue for me moving forward, or something that I think is weird, is that they talk about going to church, yet she's a witch. And I don't know if maybe it's gonna not be a Christian church or it's gonna be something different, but we'll see. That is a little bothersome. Also, the grandmother has cancer, stage 4. Don't know what kind, just that it's stage 4. That, like, I don't know. There's something about it that's not giving me cozy vibes. I said yesterday how I could understand the comparison to both Gilmore Girls and Practical Magic, but I think I might be taking that back a little bit. The Practical Magic comparison, I understand the magic. There you go. It's like very, like, I don't know. It's very natural magic. Like, I live next to an airport. What can I say? Not next to, but very near. Her magic is very, like I said, natural, in that it's woven into her personality through, like, when she gardens, the things that she plants and that grow from that, they're magical. The food that she bakes is magical. That is sort of the comparison to Practical Magic, but I'll tell you this, she hasn't actually called herself a witch yet. She says that her whole family has magic, but she makes a comment to her best friend at one point about if I was a real witch. So I'm confused by it a little bit. Maybe it'll be a little more clear later on. But the Gilmore Girls comparison is just that it's a small town. Oh, also, this small town is in California. I don't know. When I think of small witchy town, I think of Connecticut, North Carolina. I just think of like somewhere cold all the time. She has mentioned the weather being chilly, so I'm guessing it's Northern California. I don't know. It's not really specified. But yeah, anyway, I am going to keep trying. For the sake of the video, I'm going to keep trying, but I am going to give you my honest opinions on this book as I go. And so far, they are not all that positive. What can I say? I have to be honest. This is our, what I like to call bird window, because we have a bird feeder there, but occasionally we get a little squirrel friend. What are you doing? He's so cute. I know they're pests. I know they're not good for your house and all that, but he's so cute. His little paws holding the food. I love it. It has been so nice outside. I've had the windows open since yesterday. Hi, update. I'm still crocheting. I am only on the 3rd row. It's a lot, but it's coming along. Look how long this is. I accidentally did more stitches than I was supposed to, but it's actually fine because it's still an odd number or whatever. So it's gonna be huge. This is gonna be so much more time consuming than I think I originally planned, and I'm really, really happy that I am starting it right now in the middle of September. So I was worried when I very first started that I got the right size, or like the right weight of yarn. It's a really fluffy yarn. So I guess if you don't crochet or knit, you're not going to really understand this, but the stitches, let's see if I can get it to focus on the yarn. Come on, focus on the yarn. The stitches sort of disappear and you got to like hunt for them. I will say, like, these are 3 double crochets and then it just disappears. I will say though, I've picked it up a little bit easier, a little bit quicker than I thought, but I genuinely thought that was going to be an issue when I first did the chain and was looking at it and was like, where'd my stitches go? They just disappeared. But yeah, this is what I'm doing right now. This is it. It's 12:46. I think I'm gonna keep going until around 1:30. And then I'm gonna take my quick trip over to ShopRite and then come home. I want to read a little bit more, even though I'm dreading it. And then I'll check back in a little bit. I got 3 full rows done on the blanket, and then I am about halfway through the 4th row, maybe a little bit less. That being said, I'm going to run over to ShopRite now, and then I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna relax for a little bit. My hands are cramping. They're killing me. So I'm gonna go to ShopRite. I'm gonna come home. I'm gonna relax. I don't know if I'm gonna pick up the camera again today. We will see. We will see. Good morning. It is Wednesday. It is really, really nice out. It's nice and cool. I have had a really slow morning. I dropped my son off at school. I came home, I took a shower, and I've just sort of been meandering around doing random little things. Honestly, avoiding reading like I should be. It's a task. It's becoming a task to read this book. If by the end of today I have not made more progress, I do believe I'm gonna end up DNFing it, and then we'll talk about that. But it's not great. I told you about how Sadie's grandmother told her that she has cancer. She says it's stage 4. She doesn't give any more detail. And now Sadie is on like a mission to find some way to cure that cancer. And I don't know why. Actually think I do know why, but it's irritating me. It's irritating me like no other, because I don't know. It's like she's not doing research. Like she's not looking in magical books just for like if there's any historical evidence that you can cure cancer with magic or anything like that. Like that I would understand. I would get it if, like, you know, if I was a witch, you know, and a family member was sick of, you know, or had cancer, and I would go and I would do research. I would see if I could cure it. But she's not doing that. She's just throwing things together to make spells and talking about how if she can do this, then she can do that. And it's coming off very disingenuous, and I don't know. I'm not enjoying this plot line. Also, what else makes no sense? Her grandmother just invited the guy, Jake, the one that broke Sadie's heart and like jump-started her curse, just invited him to dinner when a couple pages ago she was calling him a shit ass and saying that she hated him. I don't know. I'm struggling. I really am. I'm struggling to get through it. I'm gonna try a little bit more this morning. The only thing I have planned for today is I do have to do a lot of editing. I really want to get that video up tomorrow. And I have to take my son to a doctor's appointment around like 3 o'clock. Other than that though, I have nothing else going on. So I'm gonna pop in my headphones, do some cleaning real fast, and then I'm gonna sit down with breakfast and try to read a little bit more. It would be nice to be able to zone out into a book, but this hasn't been the book just yet. So, but like I said, if by the end of today I'm not vibing with it, I'm gonna have to DNF, because I am not the kind of person that can like force myself to read a book. I'm just not. I never have been. If reading it becomes like a chore, I suddenly am like, I hate this book. Because reading isn't supposed to be a chore. It's not supposed to be unenjoyable. I love reading. I love escaping into a story. And if I'm not doing that, if I can't do that, then what is the point of me reading the book? So that's how I feel. That's what's going on. Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty chill day. I do think it's gonna rain. It absolutely looks like rain. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, you can see them cloudy skies. I do sort of hope that it rains. It's been saying that it's going to, and then it hasn't, and I'm disappointed. I would love a good quick rainstorm. That would be nice. I would just sit here. I would make another cup of coffee. I'm on my second. I would make another cup of coffee. I would sit here. I would just look out the window at the rain and try to like calm myself, center myself. I love it when it rains. But anyway, that's what Wednesday's about. Good morning. It is Thursday. I am drinking from my Luke's cup today, not from my pumpkin cup you've been seeing me drink from. First, I want to apologize for the lighting. I'm trying out this new angle, trying to see if I like it or not. We'll see going forward whether or not it's something that I stick with. Also, I do have the windows closed, but the landscapers are here, so if you hear something, it's probably that. All right, so I do believe that the last clip that you saw was of me saying that I was really gonna give this book a shot, that I was going to sit down and read some more because I really wasn't feeling it. I tried and I can't. Yeah, I can't do it. So even though normally when I do a reading vlog, I try to go from like a Monday to a Friday. Today is Thursday. There's nothing more for me to film because I just can't read it. I really can't. I officially am DNFing this. I actually officially DNF'd this yesterday, but I didn't have time really to sit down and film. So instead of me giving you my wrap up that I would normally do on a Friday, I am going to sit down and give you my thoughts on why I am DNFing this. So there you go. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is whenever I am reading a book and I am feeling as though I am probably going to DNF it for whatever that reason may be, whether it's because I don't like it or it's not interesting enough, or no matter what the reason is, 9 times out of 10, what I end up doing is going and spoiling the book for myself. This does 2 things. Number 1, it just tells me what's going to happen so I don't have to keep guessing. But number 2, if what ends up happening is interesting enough or makes me, I don't know, sometimes it'll make me go, oh wait, I want to know how we get to that point. I want to know how that happens. And so I'll do that. I'll spoil it for myself and then go from there. I did that with this book, and it did not it did not make me want to keep reading. Actually, it kind of confirmed the fact that like, whoa, wait a minute, this is not for me. Spoiler, I guess. If you want to read this and you don't want to be spoiled, you should just stop watching right now because I'm spoiling the whole thing for you. Basically, the curse, or so I talked before about Sadie's curse is that she's gonna get her heart broken, and then she either has to choose to give up magic and never get her heart broken, or she gets her heart broken, and if it happens 4 times then she loses her magic anyway. I don't know, that doesn't really make sense to me. But there's like a greater, not curse, but a greater mystery going on here, which is that Sadie's, this isn't funny at all. I just want to put that out there. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing how ridiculous the book is. Sadie has a brother named Seth, a twin brother who left, and he comes back at some point in the book, and their mother left them long ago when they were young. And basically what we learn is that,
hi, editing Fallon here to say that in hindsight, I should have given a little bit of a trigger warning before I say the next things that I'm about to say. Now, the book does not give you any content warnings whatsoever, but I'm going to give just a slight trigger warning. I am about to mention rape and murder. I don't go into detail or anything like that, and I actually can't tell you if the book goes into detail because I did not get to that point. I spoiled it for myself, and this is how I know this. So there you go. There is your trigger warning.
Their mother was raped, and they are the product of that rape. And then their grandmother killed their father. And now the twins, one of them has to kill somebody, or both of them, I don't know, or one of them is going to die. Yeah, it's a lot. We're going to get into that in a little bit. We'll get into that a little bit more. But first, I want to go down the line and talk about the things that just made me DNF it. We're going to start with the first thing, which is the fact that it is very wordy. It is very flowery. And let me just say that I love a poetic book. A Song of Achilles is still to this day one of my favorite books of all time. Like, I'm not joking. I'm not just saying that. It is. I bawled my eyes out reading that book. It is so good. A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson, which is, if you haven't read it, you need to go read it. It is just so good. The prose are so poetic. It's so wordy and it's so flowery in all the best ways. Even S.T. Gibson's book, An Education in Malice, which I read, and while I wasn't super happy with the plot and with the way that it ended, the actual words, like the writing, I guess is what I'm trying to say, was so good that it was it was worth it. It was worth it to read, even if the plot didn't turn out the way that I really wanted it to. It didn't matter because the writing was so good. Like, it carried the book. I just recently read Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver, and again, wordy and poetic in some ways, but that is not what this is. This is simile after simile after simile, over and over and over again, and like, not in a good way. Similes that just like don't even make sense. And some examples are the summer heat cocooning them like a secret. Tava's tiered skirt rustled like whispered secrets. It smelled like a promise. And this is like over and over and over again. There are so many descriptions of things that like don't need it. And it's funny because, and this sort of leads me into the next thing that I am going to complain about. I stated earlier that I was having trouble connecting to the character because I am, let's see, I DNF'd this chapter 5, 75 pages in. There is not a single physical description of what Sadie, the main character, looks like. Do you get that? Nothing. I have no idea what she looks like whatsoever. Either I missed it and I don't think I did, or it's not in here, but at least not yet. And 5 chapters in, you should absolutely know what the character looks like. I'm assuming at some point there's gonna be a description. Like, I'm assuming when Seth comes back, which I didn't get to, her twin brother, she would talk about the way he looks, and maybe that would lead into talking about her own looks somehow. I don't know. But the only thing I do know, and this is so funny, is that she has wavy hair. And the only reason I know this is because at one point that is, she spills butter and it gets into her hair. And she talks about how it made her normal waves kind of curl up even tighter, which generally doesn't make sense because I think if you get butter, melted butter in your hair, it's gonna weigh it down, but that's a whole other thing, like besides the point. But I have no idea what she looks like. No description. You can just, the author describes literally every single thing else, every smell, every rustle of the wind, every single thing else repetitively, but not a single physical description of the main character. I only know that her best friend is some kind of Hispanic because she uses Spanish phrases and words when she's talking. Yeah. Yeah, there's that. The plot itself did not know what it wanted to be. It was all over the place. Was it a romance? Was it a mystery? Was it a thriller? Like, it just, you know, there's so many different plots going on at once that it's kind of like all over the place, and you really can't follow it. Like, for instance, the main plot, what you think is going to be the main plot, is the heartbreak of it all, which I did not connect with, not even in the slightest. Like, it isn't until a little bit into the book that you find out she's 28, and 10 years ago Jake left her, and that's her first heartbreak. It's what triggered the curse, and he comes back, and I don't know, there's just no connection there. In fact, when he comes back, it's actually the first time we get a physical description, and I'm gonna read you what the physical description is. His hair, still the same summer honey wheat blonde, still completely free of gray. Fine lines crinkled around his eyes when he smiled and told stories of his easy laughter. And his shoulders. Obviously, he hadn't given up on the gym. That's the description we get. I don't know what color his eyes are. I don't know if he's tall, if he's short. I don't know. I know that he has like blonde hair, crinkles, and I'm guessing broad shoulders because he's a fireman. So yeah, but I did not connect with that heartbreak whatsoever. I didn't. The grandmother uses the word pissant, like pissant, and it's real icky. I said this earlier, actually. I don't know if it's meant to be sort of like a term of endearment, but it does not come off that way. It comes off icky and uncomfortable, and I just don't like it. I also said earlier that I don't think that this author actually curses in real life herself, because at some point, here it is, she calls Jake, I actually have it marked down right here, she calls Jake a little shit ass. A little shit ass. Listen, I don't know if I've said this, but I am from New Jersey, central New Jersey, where we curse a lot. I curse a lot. I don't say shit ass. It's so weird. It's just so weird. As I was like flipping through the pages, hold on. I found something else that I had highlighted that I thought was funny and made no sense. It says, this is when she spills the butter. The butter had somehow leaked into her brain and scrambled it. What? Butter scrambled your brain? All right. All right then. The next thing I guess is that the witches are Christian. Yeah, I said that. That's not something you see often in witchy books or in witchy shows. Like, there's usually not any kind of Christianity, but this is steeped in Christianity. In the overarching theme is that. And I thought I was crazy, but after reading reviews, both good and bad, I was not. I was not. It is marketed as a witchy read, yet at some point in the book, the main character says magic doesn't mean witches. They don't want to be called witches. How can you market your book as a cozy witchy read if you don't even want to call your main character a witch? It doesn't make sense to me at all. They go to church. There's a lot of Bible verses. I'm not into that whatsoever. Like, not into it. They marketed this book wrong, and yeah. The book takes place in California. It never says whether it's northern or southern, but because she talks about the weather getting cold, I'm assuming it's Northern California. That being said, it has a very southern vibe. Like, it should have been set somewhere in the South. It would have done this book a lot of help, honestly. It just, that was not, yeah, that's all I have to say for that as far as where it's located. This is supposed to be a cozy read, but as I described to you in the beginning, there are some extremely heavy themes in this, and I don't think that that should be considered cozy. Like, it's just, it's not. It's not. When you throw it, like, a cozy book should be one that isn't too heavy. It isn't too dramatic. It isn't too complicated, yet that's exactly what this is, you know? Overall, though, even if the plot was a little bit better, the wordiness, the similes after simile after simile, I just don't think that I would have been able to get through it. Just not for me. It's not for me. So I can't finish it, unfortunately. It is what it is. You guys know me. I don't read a book that I'm not enjoying. I just refuse to. So that being said, that is going to conclude this vlog. If you liked this vlog, even though I failed at the one thing I was supposed to be doing, and you want to see more content from me, more videos from me like this one or others that I have up, then hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share this video with somebody else who didn't like this book or who did like this book, who knows. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.